Yes.
They're on the East Coast and I'm on
They're
the
on the
West
East Coast, Anne's on the West Coast, but over the border in Canada. Yes.
Right.
I think for them it is a late night.
You've got it. Yes.
Right. Tom
Very
and Bev
late for Tom and Bev. Yes. They usually
it's
drop out
about
halfway through.
8 o'clock. For me, it's only 5:30, but the afternoon discussions in Bangkok are the ones that are tricky for me.
The morning ones were good for you, weren't they?
Yes.
Yes,
And
morning time.
I've got less and less stamina, whatever ability to stay up till 1 a.m. for the afternoon ones.
Yeah.
But occasionally I do.
You did well. Yes, we saw you several times. Yes.
Yeah, it was great. I was happy to do it. The days I could do it, the days I couldn't, I just fell asleep really early. Anyway, goes well.
And this time works well for Prakash, so he'll be a regular for this one. It's he can join this one before he goes to work. Isn't that right, Prakash? Yes. 6 in the morning or something. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. Okay, let's see if Ajahn is here now. Ajahn, are you here now?
Hi, สวัสดีค่ะ everyone.
สวัสดีค่ะ Ajahn. Hello, everyone. Yes, good. Okay, I think we can get started. Does anyone have anything they'd like to start with? Anne, Prakash, Tom, anyone? Bev?
สวัสดีค่ะ Good morning คุณ Sarah.
Morning, Supatson. Do you have a topic you'd like to start with? Please go ahead.
Yes. Okay, good. Okay. ค่ะกราบท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ The topic I would like to talk about today is about asava. From understanding, ท่านอาจารย์ say that why like at the moment look at the screen, there's pictures and there's what's the word, amoha, ignorance, and also asava, and also of course attachment. And I wondering why is asava arising with amoha or ignorance and attachment? This is my question.
First of all, I don't think Ajahn will say, look, now there are pictures, looking at pictures, because this is immediately the idea about what is seen. So what is seen are not pictures, just what is visible, just what is seen.
Yes.
So it's just what is seen, but so quickly there is clinging with ignorance, or just ignorance without clinging, or clinging with wrong view. The very subtle asavas oozing out. So even before there's any idea of picture, even when it's just visible object, still that is the object. The subtle attachment can arise, the ignorance arises, unknown. And after the eye-door process, then our mind-door process, so there comes to be the idea of shape, form, and then pictures after many mind-door processes. And more attachment, more ignorance as usual. So it's daily life, it's now, even right now, after seeing ignorance is there, ignorance with attachment or ignorance without attachment, ignorance with attachment and wrong view. So it's right now.
It's right now.
The asava, right now, yes.
Okay, may I ask, Kun Sarah, you use the word, well, for me, I never heard the word ooze. What does it mean?
So it means a bit like a rubber plant, the liquid oozes out drip by drip, oozes out. Or if you are pouring some oil, it oozes out. It means it's just sort of squirts out little by little, not a big flood
Mm.
yet, but just begins to ooze out, drip out
Okay, drip out.
little by little. Yes. So the asavas are like that. And this is how the Buddha described the asavas as like oozing out, kind of
Ooze it
dripping out little by little. Yes. So the asavas are there ready to I would say the nusias are there, the latent tendencies of attachment and so on are there, ready to condition the asavas, the very subtle kinds of attachment and ignorance, which ooze out, drip out.
Okay, very good.
It's
And
now.
yeah, which is now, and it doesn't appear. Does it?
That's the point. That's the point. So when it's stronger attachment, like when there's enjoying the scenery or enjoying the picture, the attachment is more apparent. But when it's a very subtle attachment, even in the idle process, just 3 moments after the seeing, then 4 moments after the seeing, then it just is very subtle. It doesn't appear. But eventually it has to be known to be eradicated.
And at the moment, there's asava, right? From
Yes.
understanding, but well, understanding doesn't know. Is that right? I mean,
It doesn't directly know the asavas now at this very moment, but beginning to consider that they're there is right intellectual understanding, but not direct understanding. Beginning to consider it helps to eliminate the idea of, oh, now we're having a Dhamma discussion, so there's understanding, no ignorance, no attachment. It helps to understand that the ignorance, the attachment is so deep rooted and so subtle, and it's even now, even when speaking about the Dhamma, even when listening to the Dhamma, it shows how conditioned these dharmas are, not in anyone's control. No one can stop the ignorance arising and oozing out. No one can stop the attachment. No one can stop even the ditthi, the wrong view at this moment, taking what is seen for something instantly, long before there are any words or ideas of pictures. It's there, oozing out, something there, someone there. The visible object is something.
Okay.
And just to state the obvious, they're the same realities that are known when they appear, but it's they're at a subtle level, not appearing.
Yes, and I still have question. It's right? I read my note from the previous discussion. Talking about asava, which is arising at the moment, and according to my note, asava never arise with unpleasant feeling, neutral feeling, and the present one. Why is that? Or did I note correctly?
The asavas can't arise with unpleasant feeling because dosa isn't one of the asavas, but the attachment, the kamasava or bhavasava, attachment to sense objects or attachment to existing being, they can arise with either pleasant feeling or neutral feeling. And when it's avijjasava, then it's neutral feeling is just ignorance without attachment. So then the feeling is ignorance. And when it's ditthasava, either pleasant feeling or neutral feeling. So pleasant feeling or neutral feeling, but not unpleasant feeling.
Okay, not with unpleasant feeling, right?
Yes.
Not with dosa, right?
Not with dosa, the asavas, even though dosa can be so subtle and can arise even in sense door process like this sound of thunder instantly. It's dosa, but it's not one of the asavas. The asavas just refer to attachment and ignorance.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last question, when asava will be eradicated?
Okay, so different asavas are eradicated at different stages. So Dittasava is the first asava to be eradicated. Wrong view is eradicated at the stage of Sotapanna. So that's why even the subtle wrong view has to be understood in order for it to be completely eradicated at that stage. And when Ditti is completely eradicated, no following of the wrong path anymore at all. The Kamasava, which is the subtle clinging to sense objects, would be eradicated at the stage of anagami, no more clinging to sense objects. The bhavasava, the very, very subtle clinging to being, to existing, and the very subtle avijja, ignorance, only eradicated at the stage of arahat.
Okay, thank you. It's complete.
Let's
much.
see if Ajahn has any more she would like to add to. Ajahn?
Is there asava now?
Yes, ท่านอาจารย์
Does anyone know?
No, nobody knows. Just from understanding, from understanding, from tiny understanding.
Can it be eradicated?
Right now is no.
Can be eradicated?
Oh, can. Yes, it I mean, asava can be eradicated when, sorry? Say again, please.
Who can it be eradicated?
Oh, who can,
Not who, how?
or how? Understanding right now.
Little by little.
I don't know again. Well, right now, for example, visible object, slowly increasing.
Do we have to think how much?
So I can hear ท่านอาจารย์ clearly. ท่านอาจารย์ there's maybe.
Do we have to think how much what is eliminated little by little now?
Do have no.
Not necessary, right? But the understanding of the truth gradually let go. Akusala, different levels, little by little.
ท่านอาจารย์ talk about kusala or unwholesome citta, which
She's
is
referring to akusala. So the akusala, there's gradual letting go of akusala when understanding develops, gradual wearing away of akusala, like the knife handle, very, very slightly, little by little, until it's finally eradicated. And the point was no need to think about how much or to measure it all, because then this is all the idea of I. Oh, I have less than last year, or this is not the right way. This is the story of I. So we're talking about the tendency, not my akusala. Okay, please continue, Ajahn.
So now, is there any understanding of what is there appearing?
No, it's no understanding, it's ignorance.
After hearing about the truth of it, is there any understanding of the truth of it?
I'm sorry, say again, ท่านอาจารย์ I think I haven't heard the complete sentence.
When hearing the truth about what is real, what is life now, is there a little understanding about it? Because if there is hearing about the truth, hearing about seeing and what is seen, and there's no understanding at all, what's the use of hearing about it? So is there a little understanding about the different realities that we're discussing now?
Yes, yes, it is, but so tiny.
It doesn't matter how tiny, but the understanding has to begin to develop, however tiny. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Because if we just say ignorance, nothing known, but what about the wise considering a little bit about what is asava, what is ignorance now, what is attachment? So a little bit of understanding is beginning to develop.
Okay, thank you, Busan. Yeah. ค่ะท่านอาจารย์ please carry on. I would like to hear from you because I mean understanding about asava appeared when I heard ท่านอาจารย์ say the word asava, and well, of course, I would like to, ท่านอาจารย์ to elaborate further, please.
Is it now the way to understand very, very little about that which is now appearing? Just about it.
Is there any understanding, right?
No, is it the way, like now we're discussing about different realities like attachment now? Is this the way to begin to understand about those realities by listening and discussing?
Yeah, it is the way.
Yes.
I'm so sorry, ท่านอาจารย์ I heard Kun Sarah's voice clearly, but I don't know what's the problem. I cannot hear, I mean, ท่านอาจารย์ clearly. Is it my any?
Yes, Ajahn, the sound is a little bit muffled, so it's a little bit harder than usual to hear it. It's
Usually
not quite
it's
clear. Yes,
yeah,
yes,
correct.
you're right. Yes.
I'm sorry about this to interrupt ท่านอาจารย์. Please carry on, ท่านอาจารย์. I would like to hear more about this asava.
My conditions, isn't it? Whether my voice is clear or not. My conditions.
Is that absolutely is by conditioned.
So begin to have a little more firm understanding of the truth. What is there has a reason. No one can control or no one can change it at all. Is it my voice clear now?
It's the same, ท่านอาจารย์ but yeah, it's but I understanding the word condition, ท่านอาจารย์. Therefore, oh, that's right. It's not my view to hear ท่านอาจารย์ clearly, but getting to know a little bit. Yes.
And is this the only way to understand what is there as it is, little by little?
Yes, it is. At least today, knowing about conditioned, not to hear ท่านอาจารย์ voice clearly, but there's little understanding ท่านอาจารย์. Yes.
Better than none.
Yes, a lot better.
That's why Khanti Parami, patience, on and on and on. Briya, effort, listen again and again. And have confidence of the truth. This is the way to condition the path leading to realize the truth of what we have heard right now. What is there has a reason and follow it instantly. Is it true?
Yes, it is.
Why do we talk about it? Keep on talking about what is there now.
Because understanding develop right now.
And it's the only way not to forget of what has been heard. about the truth of this very moment, to be conditioned in this life, to condition moment of understanding a little more of the truth, because it's so true. So it's very precious moment, understanding the truth that has been hidden long time ago, on and on and on, even right now, each moment, no understanding of the truth of it. So just consider the truth little by little, because it's there, not by anyone, and it's gone, not anyone at all. All are dhammas, whatever is real. Begin to understand how come this moment, and no one there in the world, nothing to, not just anyone, the whole world, the sun, the moon, when nothing appears at all, no reality which experiences anything, how can what is now appearing? How can this moment be seeing or hearing? Learn to have confidence of the truth. What is there now is not known. Asavasi, no doubt. So very quickly, what is seen is taken for something instantly. What about asava? Before taking it for something, is there asava? Is it true?
It is true. ท่านอาจารย์ may I ask a little bit further? ท่านอาจารย์ is like, I mean, asava appear even at the stage of visible object, isn't it?
Does it appear now?
It appear now, but it's
No.
image.
No.
It's not appear now. I'm sorry, ท่านอาจารย์ is from memory. It's not appear.
That's why
it
we
doesn't
have
appear.
That's why we have to understand each moment, because each moment is so true. And what is there in a moment is different by conditions, right? Patience to begin again, to consider again, to have a little more confidence of the truth. Otherwise, no condition to understand the truth of that which now appears and disappears. Is it true?
It's true, ท่านอาจารย์ but it's very, very difficult. And certainly it takes a long, long time.
To understand the truth that is so very, very difficult, very, very deep, very, very subtle. It's the only way to understand who has enlightened the truth. Because it's so deep and so subtle right now. Aswa is the unknown, no understanding of the truth of it, and instantly taking what appears as something. Before that, there is aswa. Before taking it to be something. See, just consider that we live in the world of ignorance and darkness, but what is now appearing is not dark, it's light. But the truth is that just only one doorway is light. Is it true? Again and again and again. And this is the only way to have firm confidence of the truth. That's why understand the truth of what is there as it is from the very beginning. In order to let go ignorance and clinging to what is there appearing right now, little by little. Is that the teaching of the one who had enlightened to the truth of this moment?
The Buddha.
Begin to know him.
Yes.
A little more.
Yeah.
So just to clarify one point, Kunsupatson, so the asavas arise even in the idle process, but they don't appear because the object of the citas that arise in the idle process is the visible object or the sound. So it's always the sense object. So the asavas cannot appear in those in the sense door process, even if there was some great understanding arising. So they arise, but don't appear, not experienced. And
Okay,
even in the mind door processes,
good.
the asavas so subtle, so they don't appear. They're not experienced, even though they are arising.
Therefore, we just learn by the words, right? A word that
It's not
term,
just by the words. There has to be the careful considering, not just learning the terms and the definitions, but why it has to be like this, why asavas cannot appear in the sense door process or even in the mind door process unless it's really great panya. So we have to just consider the reason. Otherwise, we forget the terms and we get confused and it all seems too difficult. But when there's careful considering, it's not actually the terms or the words that are important, but just to appreciate why subtle attachment can arise even now, even in the idol process, but doesn't appear, can't be known.
Isn't that the definition of pretty much all of the asafas that they arise, but they aren't known because they don't appear.
Right,
If
because they are so very subtle.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
But in order to be eradicated, even the most subtle kinds of ditthi or clinging or ignorance have to be known by, but not until then, yes.
Yes.
If the stronger attachment isn't even known now as a Dhamma, how can the subtle attachment be known? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะกับท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ and ค่ะคุณซาร่า thank you.
I'm just wondering if any of those who are a little newer to the discussions, like Prakash or Hado or anyone else, Jili, if any of you have any further questions about this topic or would like any clarifications.
Sir, asava is always there, even right now, while we are discussing, while we are seeing or hearing, isn't it?
Yes, at a moment of seeing, then there cannot be any asavas arising because, as you know, at the moment of seeing, only 7 chaitasikas arise with it. No kusala, no akusala realities arise at that moment. When the next 2 vipaka citas follow the seeing, no asavas at those moments with those vipaka citas. The following moment is a kiriya citta, not kusala, not akusala, not vipaka. No asavas arise. So it's only when the following akusala cittas arise, 7 akusala cittas arise, that the asavas, in a sense door process we're talking about, it's only at that moment that the asavas can arise, usually arise with those cittas experiencing the object. So usually, even in a sense door process, there is attachment and ignorance arising, or just ignorance. So the asavas arise at those moments, experiencing the same object as the cittas. In other words, the visible object or sound or smell or taste. Like we discussed in Bangkok at a moment of tasting, the feeling is neutral, but even in the sense doorway, even the akusala cittas will usually arise with ignorance or attachment.
When you say 7, you are referring the universal
7 kusala or akusala cittas that arise in that sense door process. Yes.
What was really good to hear, Sanajan, is what appears is not dark if there is understanding is developed at this point of time. There is a light.
Well, two meanings of light in that sense.
Yes.
When there is understanding, it shines a light on what appears.
Yes.
So the object is light because it's understood. But
Yeah.
when we're talking about moments of seeing, the object is light. Light appears. The visible object is light,
Yes.
except when seeing in the pitch dark. But when mind odorittas arise, or when ear odorittas arise, when taste odorittas arise, the object is dark. So the light, in that sense, only appears very briefly when it's the object of the idle process, citas, not at other moments. So two meanings of light. Good point, Prakash.
Yeah. The first one is better always.
The
first one you mentioned, when there is
that is the most
understanding,
precious one, yes.
Yeah.
Because the seeing, no matter whether there's any understanding or not of light or of life or not, seeing sees the object that is light, common to all, but only the understanding is so precious that shines the light on the truth of what is real now appearing. So that's why asavas don't appear. They're not, the panya isn't shining the light of understanding on them. So they are arising, but in the dark, in that sense. Okay, good. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to bring up or question on this topic or any other topic? Tiffany, go ahead.
When Prakash asked about the seven, that's a Javana Chitta, isn't it? When
yes, the seven kusala or akusala citas that arise with the function of javana running through the object. Yes.
Thank you.
Strictly speaking, javana refers to the function. So, as Ajahn reminded me one time when we were in Vietnam, it's actually the citas are kusala or akusala, but they have the function of javana. So usually we refer to them as the javana citas, but actually they're kusala or akusala citas arising with that function.
Oh, can I ask, is at that moment does the Chetana cause can the Chetana become like the Kamma, or at that?
Okay.
In
this
verse
is
7, or is it after in the Mano? I'm not sure.
Okay, this is another big topic. So Chaitanya, as we were discussing with Prakash in Hong Kong, not Hong Kong, where were we? Bangkok last week, arises with every citta, and every Chaitanya is actually karma. So even at a moment of seeing now or hearing, Chaitanya arises, it coordinates the citta or chaitasikas. And when it arises with the kusala or akusala cittas, it has the function of intending or willing in a wholesome or unwholesome way. So karma is at each moment, but only when it arises with very strong akusala, not just the very subtle lobha we've been talking about, or the subtle liking like now, but when it's strong enough to lead to or condition unwholesome speech or deeds, only then is it what we refer to as karma pata, course of karma that can bring results later. So karma's at every moment, but not every chaitanya can bring results, certainly not with moments of seeing and hearing. And even in the sense door processes, the attachment is not strong enough to bring results. It's not conditioning speech or deeds. And when it comes to kusala, only when the kusala is strong enough can it bring results, like just thinking about being kind to one's neighbors is not strong enough to bring results. But if it's the kindness that motivates acts and deeds and speech, then it can bring results later. and understanding. If it's even in a sensed or process, if it's the strong understanding of an enlightened one, then maybe. But if it's just a little understanding in a sensed or process, like just a little considering about asavas now, I doubt it's strong enough to bring results, but it accumulates. The habit grows. I think it was on Saturday, Ajahn was talking about Upanisya Gotra, the habit of attending wisely to the reality, even when it's just hearing or considering, just reflecting now that it is just the visible object that is seen. It is just sound that's heard, no picture, no one there. So the habit of attending to the right object has to develop and grow. And when it develops and grows, it can condition the direct understanding. And this is very strong kusala karma that can bring results.
That's like Satipatthana again, isn't it?
Yes. So it is like when Ajahn asked Kunsupat's son if there can be any understanding now. And at first she said no, and then yes, because there can be the beginning to consider what is true now. If there's not any beginning to consider, there's no point in listening, but beginning to consider, beginning to understand what life is now is the way that understanding develops, ready to condition direct understanding when it's firm and confident understanding about the truths.
So back to that Javana Citta. So it has to go up to that in the Manodwara Citta. That's when Chetana can cause.
So Chaitana, remember Chaitana is at each moment. Every Chaitana is karma. Every Chaitana conditions the Chitta and Chaitasikas by Saha, Jata, Karma, Pachya. That means arising together, conditioning the other Chittas and Chaitasikas. When it's kusala or akusala of a small kind, ordinary kind, it's not, it is Chaitana that is Karma, Pachya in that way, but it's not the karma, it's not the Chaitana that is the karma that can bring results later. So when it is the Chaitana, which is stronger, like in a mind or process, when the attachment is strong enough to condition speech or deeds, then it can bring results. So this is the second kind of karma pachya, nana kanika karma pachya, the karma that can bring a result later. When it brings its result, it is this kind of karma pachya. So another deep topic.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Perhaps Ajahn would like to add more on this topic too for you.
What's the question about again, please?
Would you like to ask your question again, Tiff?
Oh, hello, Jan. I just asked Sarah about the Chetana in the seven Javana Citta, whether it can cause karma. But Sarah has just explained that it has to be strong enough to cause karma patta in the Manodwara. I think that's it, isn't it, Sarah? I think that's how much I understood. Yeah.
So is there now Chetana?
All the time, Ajahn.
What level?
Not at the level of karma, but yet.
Listening to Dhamma with understanding, isn't it karma?
I'm not sure. Yes.
That's why we have to learn to have confidence all around about just one reality, because each reality is so very deep. We have to understand by way of chati, whether it is a condition to be kusala or akusala as the cause or the result, or that which is not either cause or result. Learn a little more, just a little more, about any reality, little by little. So can Chetana be result, vipaka?
Yes, it can.
What moment?
At the moment of seeing and the moment of birth.
The moment of seeing, and then what?
The moment of hearing, vipaka.
And what else?
Touch through the sixth sense door. That's Chetana is there.
As result, right?
As result,
What,
yes.
What else, please?
At the time of birth, Bhavanga Chitta as well.
And
That's all I can think of. I'm not sure. It arises at every moment of life. I mean, they're just different Chetana, aren't they, Ajahn?
even at moment of birth of Bhavanka, and what else?
At the moment of kusala, at the moment of understanding or moha, they're all there. It's always there.
And what else? At moment of death too, right?
Yes.
Tiffany, we were just talking about it with result, with vipaka chitas. So yes, birth, bhavanga chitas, death. And then you mentioned with 6 doorways. So in the mind door, what is the vipaka chitta? You said seeing, yes, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, but you said 6 doorways. So in the mind door, what is the vipaka?
The thinking.
The thinking is not vipaka.
Oh, it's the
thinking is the kusala or akusala chitta, which thinks with kusala or akusala cetasikas. Yes, so 5 doorways. Yes, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching.
The bhavanga is through the 6th door, isn't it? Oh.
No, the bhavanga, it doesn't appear, it doesn't arise in any doorway. It's the chitta, which is, we say, doorway freed. So it doesn't, it arises and experiences an object, but not through the mind door, not through any doorway at all. So while sleeping, bhavanga chitas, and they are interrupted by a process of chitas through a doorway, and then bhavanga chitas not experiencing an object through a doorway. Okay, so
thank you.
Point to clarify, yes.
Yeah.
Sarah, can I ask a question?
Ed, Prakash.
At the time of seeing now or hearing now, while we are discussing, there is some intention, there is some willingness to see or hear. This is the Chetana, isn't it? That is doing the function of Chetana. Wrongly, one takes that I am seeing, I am trying to see, I am trying to hear. Of course, with the support of various other condition, it happens. The notion arises that, yeah, I took this pencil to make a note, that actually it is a Chetana which is doing the function.
what you're talking about, all the stories of I'm intending to see, I'm intending to take notes, has nothing to do with seeing and nothing to do with Chaitana that arises with seeing. The Chaitana that arises with seeing, it just experiences the visible object. It coordinates the chitta or chitta and chaitasikas at that moment in order that they experience the visible object. No thought of I or no thought of anything. That is, even when the akusala chittas arise in the idle process, still no thought of I am seeing or I'm intending to do this or that. That is much later in mind or processes, because the object is just visible object for all the idle chittas in the process. Even if ditthi arises, the ditthasava, the very subtle ditthi arises in the idle process, still the object is just visible object, not anything about I doing this or that. It's just the wrong understanding of the visible object that appears, very, very slight.
So which mental factor which brings the notion of I am doing, I am seeing? Of course, it is a part of ignorance.
And ditthi with attachment in mind or processes. So after the idle process, countless mind or processes, thinking of shape, color, picture, someone, this and that, and then I am doing something. Many, many, many countless mind or processes before there can be any idea of I'm doing this or that.
It could also be conceit or just attachment. If one is pleased to be doing something, there could just be attachment that one is doing it.
So even at this moment of discussing, hearing, is it with attachment in that case?
Who can tell for the other? There's no rule as to whether it's attachment or conceit or wrong view. It depends on the mental factors that arise. So the answer can only be known by the characteristic of the moment, not by the thought itself, not by the words that make up the thought idea.
And so many different kinds of chittas while listening. There's the hearing, the ignorance that follows, moments of wise considering, moments of thinking about, I'm hearing. So many different chittas arising in different processes. And we can't think about the situation, say what is there. Only Anya can know what is there when that reality appears. Like now, maybe attachment that's strong enough, it can be known, it can appear. Or if there's a little bit of boredom, the aversion can appear, or sound that is heard. It just depends on conditions, what appears, what can be known. But not by thinking of the set situation and speculating what it is. Otherwise, it's all about I again.
No, I was not trying to speculate that example unless there is, because Tanajan, we were discussing Saturday on Ekagata. Unless there is Ekagata, no seeing happens. There must be certain kind of Ekagata, then only seeing happens. Similarly, unless there is some willingness to see, it is at the Chetasika level, not at the self level I'm talking, and the seeing doesn't happen. Hearing doesn't happen, isn't it? That's the question I was just trying to put across. Yeah.
Right. So ekagata, for anyone not familiar, is concentration. So yes, at each moment with each chitta, ekagata must arise to focus on one object. That's why it's only one object that appears at the moment of focusing on the visible object. No other object can appear or be experienced by seeing or the other cetasikas. And in the same way, Chaitana must arise with each citta, must arise at that moment of seeing to coordinate the citta and Chaitasikas to experience the object. But at that moment, it doesn't will any kusala or akusala to arise.
And but also, sorry, just to keep in mind that it's not willingness we're talking about in Chaitana, it's the willing for something to happen. So if we say there's no seeing unless there's willingness to see, it suggests that in the absence of willingness, there's no seeing, but seeing occurs as a result of past karma. So willing doesn't come into it, but the moment of seeing, like every other moment of consciousness, requires the mental factor of Chaitana to accompany it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jan, would you like to add more to any of these questions or comments?
Again, please, what about? Sorry.
Prakash can ask his question again to you.
Yeah. Jan, we were discussing Ekagata Saturday. So you helped me to understand, unless there is Ekagata, either seeing, hearing, it doesn't happen. Similarly, I was trying to understand, without there is an intention or will, even seeing or hearing doesn't happen, isn't it? That was a question.
Can anyone try to do, or anyone try to understand, or anyone like or dislike?
No.
So what's the question about again?
Yeah, my question was, it is at the Chetasika level, not at the will of a person or self view.
You mean Chetana?
Yes.
Chetana. Okay. Is it now?
Yes.
What?
It must be there. It must be there.
So we can talk about each moment of Chitta with Chetana, right?
Yes, Sajjan.
So, for example, at moment of anger, being angry, is that Chetana?
Yes.
Does it have any will to be angry? To be angry?
No, it is conditions.
So what does it do or perform its function at that very moment?
It does the function of being angry or focusing on that particular object to be angry.
Are you talking about Chetana or Ekakata?
Okay. Yeah, I would like to talk on Chetana, Ajahn.
Not Ekakata.
No.
At moment of being angry, what does Chetana do? It has to arise together, and what function is it? Is there any will to be angry? To be, yeah.
No.
So what does it do? no will at all to be angry? Or what function is there? No need to talk about it when it does not appear to be known. That's why no matter when the understanding of the truth of no one, what is there is a kind of that which experience the object, or that which cannot experience the object, to be known that no matter what, no one at all, nothing can be taken for self or something. That's why we learn little by little to understand what is there together, arising together, experience the same object, or that which arises together but cannot experience the object, to have firm confidence of the truth that it's there to be known as not self. At moment of willing to do something, intending to do, it's a kind of reality, not anyone. Otherwise, it's I all the time. Is there intention now? Is there willingness now? Is there reality now? They're all mixed up. That's why we learn little by little. Why? To understand the nature of it when it appears there. For example, intention to go, or intention to speak, or intention to do. When it's there, it can be known that it's a reality different from other reality. Otherwise, we follow the words, try to understand it. But in truth, it can be understood. It can be understood only when right understanding is there from hearing, considering enough to understand it as not anyone or anything at all. Otherwise, no matter how much we learn about it, at moment of what thing appears to be someone or something, no understanding of any truth at that very moment. For example, now, what is seen, not enough condition to understand it, just that which can be seen.
Yes.
That's why we learn about one reality at a time. Have you heard about the Kusala Dhamma, Akusala Dhamma, and Apayagata Dhamma? Or about Dhammas? It can be classified by way of Kusala Dhamma, or the reality which is Kusala, and Akusala Dhamma. And what about Apayagata Dhamma?
Yeah, I have not heard this, Ajahn, Abhyagata Dhamma.
These refer, Prakash, to all the dhammas that are not kusala or akusala. So vipaka dhammas, kiriya dhammas, rupas, these are all abhyakata. Any other dhammas that are not kusala or akusala.
The rest of the dhammas.
Okay, other than Kusala and Akusala.
But on your point about willing, Prakash, so in a moment of akusala, there's the Chaitana wills the attachment, wills the anger, but at a moment of seeing, it's vipaka, it's result. So there's no willing of akusala, no willing of kusala. So this is why it's just coordinating the chitta and chaitasikas at that moment.
Okay.
Yeah. But as soon as the anger arises or the attachment arises, it's chaitana which has that function of willing in a wholesome or unwholesome way.
And this is the subtle way to let go. Ignorance and attachment and all kinds of akusala, gradually, little by little, unknowingly. Without understanding, no way to let go the idea of self or something, or even understanding it just by learning, understanding, not realizing it cannot eradicate the idea of I or something or someone or the world at all. That's why beginning to understand how subtle Dhamma is, again and again and again, this is a subtle way to let go attachment with ignorance beyond anyone's will, to get or to understand the truth right now as it is. It has to develop one moment at a time, go on little by little, by conditions, not by I will or willing. So Chetana is not the path. Learn little by little to understand the truth, the reality, because they are always there from moment to moment, unknown, until learning about it one by one. So now, is there any question about Chetana?
John, at the time of seeing Chetana does the function of coordination, then after whether Kusala or Kusala there, the intention arises. It is the understanding. Is it the right understanding at the intellectual or theoretical level?
Yeah. Is that Chetana today?
Yes.
What moment?
When it arises.
What moment?
In all the moment it is there, Ajahn.
What moment?
Right. Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Seeing now. It's the arising. Each moment doesn't mean that no understanding of what moment is there. Right? Just each moment. Not the understanding of what moment is there. Just each. In dreaming, while one is dreaming, is that Chetana?
No.
Again, please.
Yeah.
Dream.
I'm
No.
thinking to answer.
What about Chetana arises with each citta?
Yeah, it must arise with each chitta.
This is why we learn to understand the truth of each reality, to let go the idea of I will or I, and so on. That's why there must be firm confidence of the truth. Chetana arises with each citta. What about the birth moment?
Birth moment?
Birth, the moment of the first moment in life, the birth moment.
Yeah, there must be Chetana in that time also.
Does it have anywhere to be born?
No, no.
So what function is there? Is Chetana there? What function is it?
Yeah, its function is born.
The function of Chetana only. Any moment.
Yeah, I don't know the right word to say here. What is the function at that point of time?
What did Kunsara say again and again and again about the function of Chetana?
Yeah, there are two functions. One is a coordination, another one is a will or intention.
So at moment of birth, what function is Chetana?
Is the intention to born again.
Really? Or it has to arise by condition?
Yes, with the condition.
So the condition for its arising, the first moment in life, is the result or the cause.
Result.
So what kind of cetana is there?
Vipaka chitta.
Yes, what function is it?
Okay, the function is coordination at the point.
Coordinate the cetasikas and the Dhamma which arise together
Yes.
to perform the function.
Yes.
Is it Kriya or Vipaka or Kusala or Akusala at that moment of birth?
Vipaka.
Right. And the next moment, is that Cetana as well? The next moment,
Yes.
it arises with what kind of Citta?
It can be kusala or akusala.
Never.
Never. Okay.
Bhavanga Chittas.
Bhavanga chitta. Okay.
And same, Vipaka Chitta. So no intention to arise. It's just result. So that's why we have to distinguish between Vipaka Chittas and Kusala and Akusala. It doesn't intend to see or intend to be born. It just arises with the Vipaka Chittas as result, coordinating Chitta and Chaitasikas, different from moments of Kusala and Akusala. Which will in a wholesome or unwholesome way.
Era, before Ajahn asked me about jati, the four.
Right. Just before you go on, Tiffany, Azita's been waiting patiently with her hand up for quite a long time. So let's let Azita come in first. Go ahead, Azita.
Okay. This topic of Jetana. So with Vipaka Chittas, Jetana just coordinates the other Jetasikas. However, when it's either Kusala or Agusala, and it came up about anger. So let's take an Agusala Jitta with anger. What is the function of Jetana then? Does it still coordinate the Jetasikas? So does it coordinate anger to be angry?
It always, Chaitana arises with every Chitta, including Bhavanga Chittas, birth consciousness, all Chittas, and it always has the function of coordinating the Chitta and Chaitasikas that it arises with. So at a moment of seeing, it coordinates the seeing and the other Vipaka Chaitasikas, the seven other 6 Chaitasikas that arise at that moment. And when at a moment of akusala, when anger arises, it coordinates the chitta, the anger, the ignorance, the ahirika and otapa, all the other unwholesome chaitasikas that arise at that moment. So all coordinated to experience the object. And in addition, it wills in a wholesome or unwholesome way. So it wills the wholesome or unwholesome dharmas to arise. And depending on the strength, it wills in a way that conditions speech or deeds that can bring results later. That's all.
So is it has the function of making the anger really angry or not so angry? Is that how it works? It just seems like it all happens so quickly in that one moment. You've got the Jetana coordinating and willing.
At that moment,
at that very moment,
all the Chaitasikas condition each other. So the Chaitana willing conditions the other Chaitasikas, the anger conditions the other Chaitasikas, and also the ignorance conditions all those Chaitasikas and the Chitta to arise. So they all condition each other by sahajata pachya. That means arising together, conditioning each other, falling away. So they all work as a team, conditioning each other. We cannot say the anger arises just because of Chaitana. It arises because of the habit of anger and the conditioning nature of all the other Chaitasikas, the habit of ignorance, the habit of focusing on particular object and so on. So all the Chaitasikas are conditioning each other at that moment.
And that's Sahajata.
By Sahajata Pachya, yes.
But
Because we learn about, for example, Prakash, we're talking about seeing and hearing, or the Bhavanga Chitas, or birth consciousness as a result of karma. And Tiffany, yes, thinking through the mind door, not as a result of karma, but by another condition, Pakatu Upanisya Pachya, natural decisive support condition, which conditions those habits of anger and ignorance and understanding now. And at each moment in life, the Chitta and Chaitasikas condition each other by another condition, Sahajata Pachya. It means association condition. They arise, they associate together, condition each other, and fall away. So this is also a powerful condition. Yes. And so many different conditions at work.
That's wonderful, Sarah. Thank you so much. And the other point I'd like to make is that when we're talking about all of these Jetasikas and how they condition each other, the point is there's no self mentioned in there at all.
And this is exactly the point that Jan was stressing. It's not I willing, seeing, or anger to arise or anything. The only point of discussing these different dharmas and the way they arise by different conditions is to really emphasize no one there, no one doing anything, just dharmas arising by many different pachya, many different conditions.
Right. Thank you.
All for the letting go of the idea of I can do anything. Yes. Or my anger or my understanding. Yeah. And Tiffany, would you like to continue with your point?
Well, I'm not sure or the jati for Jetana, because we were talking about the birth, the bhavanga, and the death. Is that one of the jati?
There are jatis just mean like planes of consciousness. So kusala is one plane of consciousness. Chitas that are kusala accompanied by wholesome or beautiful dharmas like kindness and generosity and understanding. This is one plane or one jati of chitas. Another jati is akusala. So the chitta is accompanied by anger or attachment and unwholesome factors, akusala jati. Another jati you're familiar with is vipaka. Vipaka is another plane, another jati of chittas. So seeing or hearing now are vipaka chittas accompanied by vipaka chaitasikas. This is a third jati. And the fourth jati, which we don't talk so much about, are the kiriya chittas. The kiriya chittas are the chittas that are not kusala, not akusala, not vipaka. In the case of arahat, there are no kusala or akusala chittas at all. Instead, there are kiriya chittas instead of kusala chittas. They cannot bring results, but they're accompanied by the same sobhana chaitasikas. For us, certain chittas in different processes are kiriya. For example, before seeing, there's one chitta, the Panchadwara Vajana chitta, the chitta which adverts to the sense object. And this is a kiriya chitta. It's not kusala, it's not akusala, it's not vipaka, it's kiriya. So this one is a kiriya chitta. After seeing, there are two more vipaka chittas, followed by another kiriya chitta. The Pali is the Votapana chitta, and often it's translated in English as determining chitta, which is actually very misleading because people have the idea it determines whether kusala or akusala follows, which is not correct. It's just one chitta, which is not kusala, not akusala, not vipaka, and it has to arise in between the vipaka chittas or kusala or akusala chittas. It's like the gateway that makes it possible for the kusala or akusala chittas to follow. So this is another Kiriya chitta. After the eye-door process or sense-door process, many bhavanga chittas, and then followed always by a mind-door process. The first chitta in the mind-door process is actually exactly the same kind of chitta as the Votapana chitta. It's the mano dwara vajana chitta, the mind-door adverting chitta, Kiriya chitta. So it has to arise again like a gateway to make way for kusala or akusala chittas to follow in the mind-door process. So this is the fourth jati, Kiriya chittas. And you can just remember they're the chittas that are not kusala, akusala, or vipaka.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So if you hear a Jan talking about which jati or how many jatis, kusala, akusala, vipaka, Kiriya.
Thank you very much.
Tiffany, just a small point here. The word jati is usually translated as origin or birth. The word bhumi is relating to another idea. We can leave that for the time being. And just Azita, another condition at the moment of kusala or kusala is nana kanika kamapachya. Now, the word nana is not jnana, it's nana. It's a common word in Thailand when they talk about what nana chart. It means the temple of other people from other countries. So here it's the same word. Nana means other or another. So it's the condition. Kanika is a Pali word, obviously, and it relates to moment, or literally it means possessed of a moment of another time. So nana kanika means that it's possessed of a moment of another time, meaning that when there are the right conditions, vipaka will bring a result. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sundra. Appreciated. Thanks.
Yes, and on that, it's only when the result has been brought that we can say that Chaitana, for example, the Chaitana with the anger or the Chaitana with the lobha that conditioned the speech or deed, only when the result is brought can we refer to it as Nana Kanika Amapachya, or the complete Kamapata that has brought the result. So many subtle points and details, again, all just to understand how all dhammas are anatta, that's all. And we're running we don't have a whole lot of time left, so let's see if Ajahn would like to add more.
So now we can talk about just one reality at a time, right? In order to have more understanding of how deep and how subtle it is, no matter what. That's why we can talk about anything and understand the truth of it as what it really is. For example, Chetana, when you say, excuse me, in Thailand, I don't have intention to such and such, or sorry, and so on. But actually, as much as there can be the understanding of the reality which is Chetana in daily life, is the will, isn't it? I intend, I will, see, Chetana. So when we use the term Chetana, it does not mean just the word. But it's the reality there which has the will to do this and that. But when it's not kusala or akusala, who knows? It arises performing the function of coordinating. The Cetasikas or the Dhamma arise together with it, with will or not. It has the will to coordinate, or it coordinates with will. So it doesn't matter what word we use, but the understanding of Vedana as, of Cetana as a reality is there in life. It depends on what kind, what level, and what situation it can be there, appearing to be studied, to understand it. But even there is Cetana right now, who knows? The other reality is appearing, not Cetana. That's why we learn about the subtle, the very deep moment. Each moment is so deep with the reality which is always unknown. When there's no word about it, how can it be known? So it's I all the time, no matter what moment of experiencing anything with attachment or aversion or will to do and on, all I from birth. That's why learn to understand deeper and deeper to realize the truth of each reality unexpectedly because it's already there before anyone can expect it to be. For example, seeing right now is there already, no understanding of it, but it can be known, it can be studied, it can be realized because it's so true. That's why we listen again and again and again to seeing and what is there arising with seeing in order to let go ignorance and attachment to what is there as avijjasava, with kamasava, with siddhasava, with bhavasava. See, no thought about it, impossible at all if there's no hearing of each one. That's why what is there? There is seeing, no understanding of seeing. So the moment of understanding seeing is always at the seeing, no understanding of seeing, no understanding of this and that. That's why that level of akusala is asava. It arises, but it's so very slight and very quick. That's why always the idea of I all the time. I see right now, isn't it? Because of avijjasava. No understand of seeing. The seeing is just a reality which experiences that which impinge on the eye. And there is kamasava, because we live in the world of kama, the object, the sensuous object, seen, heard, and so on. And ditthisava, I all the time. Bhavasava, avijjasava, ditthisava, kamasava. Isn't it? Just learn to understand how dark it is each moment. No understanding of that which appears from day to day, from moment to moment, without hearing about the truth, which is so very subtle. It has been accumulated long time ago, years and years ago. But the path leading to realize the truth is taught by the enlightened one who enlightened to the truth of what is there right now and any moment in life. That's why learn to understand the reality as a reality. Loba, attachment, is a reality. Intention of cetana or will is a reality. Aversion, a reality. Clinging, and so on. Each moment, all are dhammas. No one there. So learn a little more to have more understanding, to let go the moment of seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, unexpectedly, only by conditions. So it's so anatta, just right now. But right understanding is sharp, not sharp enough to understand. What is there? Just one moment, one reality appear as it is, but it's not known as it is. So learn to have confidence of life, of the truth of life, of understanding how come the first moment, how come to be the last moment in life, and birth again, birth moment again, and death again, and birth again, on and on and on. If there's no understanding, what about? Nobody can change the way Dhamma is. It has to go on restlessly, endlessly. So now it's time to begin to listen carefully to the truth of a reality at a time. So is there any question?
Yes, I have one, Ajahn, regarding Gammasawa. Does that include the objects, or is that only including attachment?
When there's no Kamasava, there can be other asava, right?
Yes, is that the other three?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I think I'm thinking is unpleasant feeling part of the asavas? For example, when it's anger. Sorry, go on, Athan.
Okay. Unpleasant feeling, is it known as not self?
It's not known as not self, but it can be known, unpleasant feeling.
Before it can be known, is there asava?
Well, I understand that asavas are, they come in with every jitta. There's asavas until they're eradicated.
Mm-hmm. So it is pavasava, avijjasava, and tidasava when there's no kamasava.
Okay. And so Gammasawa is attachment. It's not the rupas, it's the namas. Is that correct? No.
So the asava has to be avijja cetasika and lopa cetasika.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, yes. Thank you.
And one more, titti cetasika.
Wrong view. Tidaswa, yes. Right. Oh, that's wonderful, Ajahn. Anumodana.
If there's no more, a little clearer understanding, it's impossible to let go.
Yes. The more I listen, the more I see how hard it is.
And that is panya, see, understanding how deep, how subtle, how hard. And that is the only way to let go. Even right now, what appears has to be known without the will or try with our level of effort to experience it. It has to be Dhamma alone, little by little, panya. Understanding only can get to the deeper and deeper reality now arising and falling away. So deep.
Yeah. Ajahn, so the asavas arise with all akusala jittas. Is that correct?
There must be not just one or four or three cetasika, at least 7 cetasika.
Right. With akusala jittas, and the asavas are part of that.
Level of asava or at level of asava.
Right. Okay, at the level of asava, and the 7 cetasikas can be at the level of asava. Is that correct?
Because it arises it arises with that level of akusala.
Okay.
Avijja always arises with
Right.
every akusala,
Yes. Okay.
But-
Thank you.
but you can't say that they arise with, you can't say that the lobha, the kamasava, the bhavasava arise with dosa, for example.
No. Oh,
Or you
right.
can't
Okay.
say they arise with every kind of lobha. So,
Okay.
yeah.
I see.
So we can't just say they arise with all akusala. Yeah. Only avijja, only ignorance arises with all akusala.
The akusala asava.
Yeah.
Akusala
And ditthi, you
asava.
can't say it arises with all akusala. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
It's been a very good discussion today. Lots of deep topics and good questions. And so we can continue next time.
Great.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you.
Sarah.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Thank you very much.